Methodology English. Chapter 2. Academic Standards and Indicators. We are familiar with performance indicators stated under the ideational domains of grammar, vocabulary, and the domains of skills and discourses. In a holistic approach to language, none of these can be given undue prominence without putting at stake the others. Since assessment is inseparable from learning, it is something that has to take place at every stage of transaction. Grammar, vocabulary, and language skills can be assessed only by embedding them in discourses targeted at a certain level of transaction. Nevertheless, for gaining specificity in stating the linguistic competencies to be targeted at a certain level of learning, these have been accommodated under 6 broad categories as stated in the sections given below. Broad categories of the academic standards. 1. Listening and speaking. 2. Reading comprehension. 3. Conventions of writing. 4. Vocabulary. 5. Grammatical awareness. 6. Creative expression, oral and written discourses. Targeted discourses with indicators. Features. Primary level. Conversations. Contains dialogues with 2 to 5 exchanges, proper sequence of exchanges. Descriptions. Description of objects, things, persons, variety of sentence forms. Proper sequence of the ideas. Personal reflections on the event or person. Poems. Suitable structural patterns. Rhyme scheme, specific patterns. Rhythm, structure, meter, music theme. etc. Expressing emotions and reflections. Narrative, story. Sequence of events and dialogues. Evoking of sensory perceptions and emotions, images. Setting in other details, use characterization. Diary. Expression of personal reflections. Thoughts and feelings, use of variety of sentences. Letter. Appropriate language to the context, appropriate format. Layout and conventions expressing ideas sequentially. Messages. Email. SMS. Relevant ideas to the context, maintaining brevity, use of conventions. Layout and format, appropriate language to the content and context. Notice, poster, ads. Invitation. Occasions and purposes showing the context, details of venue, date, time. Salutation. Invitation. Program, layout and design, maintaining brevity. Slogans. Placards. Appropriate to the context, maintaining brevity and rhythm, play. Skit. Dialogues relevant to the context with emotions and feelings, stage directions. Movements and settings, beginning and ending, reference to costumes and props, dramatization, theatrical performance like dialogue delivery. Actions. Stage sense. Costumes. etc. Choreography. Identification of the main theme and stanza-wise themes, identification and sequences of actions of the protagonists, main characters, identification and sequence of actions of the chorus, performance of the actions of the protagonist and the chorus. Essay, all types. Title. Introduction. Body and conclusion, appropriate paragraphing with main ideas, supporting details and examples. Salient features of the new primary English textbooks. 1. Previously, we had separate textbooks, supplementary readers and workbooks. The new English readers are designed in an integrated manner. We have a single book that is a combination of the main reader, listening material, workbook at the unit level. 2. The present textbooks are brought out in multicolors. Earlier, we had textbooks in single color. 3. The previous textbooks were skill-based. Development of language skills was given priority. The content was isolated. It had no relevance to each other. The present textbooks are based on certain themes. Every unit is based on a theme that is familiar to the learners. The theme recurs throughout the unit, in all the activities of the unit. The thematic approach facilitates construction of knowledge along with development of language skills. 4. Holistic treatment of languages. Taken care of in the present textbooks. Grammar and vocabulary have relevance to the content, whereas in the earlier textbooks, the treatment of grammar and vocabulary have no relation to the content. 5. In the present textbooks, authentic real communication in writing and speaking is attempted. In the previous textbooks, writing activity was either controlled or guided. Speaking was also not authentic. 6. The earlier textbooks were developed by experts. There was not much to address the problems of teachers and learners, whereas the present textbooks were the outcome of combined efforts of experts in the ELT, linguists and the textbook development committees that include teacher trainers and teachers. 7. Present textbooks include activities that result in the production of language in the name of project. The learners literally use language in solving real-life problems. This helps the learners in internalizing the language. 8. In the earlier textbooks, each unit began with a listening activity. Experience proved that by doing so the learners were receiving the reading input a bit late. To put it in other words, listening texts were longish. By the time the teacher completed reading, the learners were exhausted and lost interest. 9. The earlier textbooks had listening passages that have no contextual relevance. The present books have contextually relevant listening texts. They are reasonably long. Hence, they will be interesting to the learners. 10. Earlier we were using two series of textbooks. one for the English medium stream and the other for the non-English medium. This year there is a common book for these two streams. Unit structure. Each unit contains the following components. 1. Face sheet theme picture. Each unit begins with a picture called face sheet. Interaction on face sheet triggers children's motivation and they get introduced to the theme. 2. Listening passage. Unit-wise listening texts are provided at the end of the textbook. These passages are in fact a part of the listening input. Thus, listening passages will help children to get an idea about the theme in the reading text. 3. Reading texts. Every unit consists of 3 reading texts. Reading A, B and C. The usual pattern followed is as follows. Reading text A. Reading B. Reading C. Reading. The reading texts that are included in the textbooks are chosen from different genres, such as stories, narratives, short play, biography, letter and poems. All the reading texts are followed by glossary, few comprehension questions and some exercises related to grammar and vocabulary. The exercises serve the purpose of exploring the language. Writing part provides an opportunity to the children to write different discourses with their own ideas in a given context. Each writing belongs to different discourses such as conversations, descriptions, messages, letters, songs etc. 4. Project. This section contains 1 or 2 projects related to the theme of the unit. Projects enable the children to find resources to work out on the task. Prepare the report and present it before the class. 5. Self-assessment checklist. The checklist given at the end of each unit helps the learner, as well as teacher, to assess their learning. The checklist reflects all the sections of a unit.